and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with April Chapman. You know, I've covered a lot of topics. I mean, I tend to discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. But I think today's show, this is Unshakable with April, and I'm officially shook.
The supposed representative Roland Martin is getting by Shakola L. Thompson, and he is given soft low D energy. Why would an accomplished journalist cheat on his wife in this manner, letting someone take pictures and videos of him in acts and wearing his hideous man bikini?
Okay, I didn't think I could be shooken. I know shooken's not a word, but I just like the way it sounds. Y'all, today's video, I'm gonna do my best to cover this with as much class and Christian integrity and conviction as possible. And I wasn't gonna cover this, but everybody kept messaging me, wanting to know my thoughts on it, so here it goes. The topic of today's video is the Roland Martin leopard print scandal, extortion. Like, y'all, it's just so disgusting and perverse and just confusing that it's really hard. I don't really know where to start, so I'll just start at the beginning. So Tasha K, a well-known, blogger in the social media space, very successful business owner, came upon, like, it was put into her lap, like most of the other sensational, bombshell news stories that come her way about Roland Martin and allegedly his involvement with some woman who had him positioned in some very sexually perverse, sexually weird, and confusing and compromising situations. And somehow this information got to Tasha K, and Tasha K reaches out to Roland Martin's people, and they're not denying that this content, this video is actually Roland. However, they're threatening to sue, saying, this would be considered revenge porn. Roland's being extorted. It would be wise for you to refrain from releasing and circulating any videos or still shots because we will, proceed with swift legal action. But I do think it is important, even as a Christian, that you can cover these kinds of topics and leave your audience with some sort of educational or transformative perspective after it's all said and done. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. So Roland Martin, as you guys know, considers himself a journalist. He has his own platform. Roland is married. Roland is married to a female pastor, which is an oxymoron, but we don't have to get into that right now. And I don't understand. Well, I do. Roland is a Democrat. I call him a shill for the Democrat Party. Like, he is a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat. He will vote blue no matter who. Now, this is important because although this is not a political scandal per se, the type of information that has come out about Roland Martin, in my opinion, gives you some insight as to what is fundamentally wrong with the Democrat Party in general. You don't even have the ability or the concern to protect our children, the most vulnerable amongst us. You want Black people to turn a blind eye to the invasion of their communities by people who have not earned the right to be here lawfully, sopping up their resources, and you just want us to be charitable and act like that's okay. But the only reason why you do that is because you are a shill for the Democrat Party. And they pay you well to stay on code, to promote this destructive, calamitous culture of failure, which has us at the bottom. And we are done tolerating the likes of you. We're done. So now you're out here, everybody making fun of you because you got men's booty cheeks showing up on the internet. And in your sick mind, you think that's normal. Well, that happens all the time, and I'll do it again. We know you will. We know. But y'all, masculine men don't explain away or try to excuse that or minimize that unless that's who they are or that's what they're into. Now, yes, fallen image bearers, sinners, sons and daughters of Adam, all of us are sinful. All of us have the propensity to be hypocrites and all the things. But what makes this story so wild and crazy is the fact that Roland Martin, as many Democrats tend to do, always want to position themselves as if they are the moral authority. They always want to talk about what someone else is doing or what someone else is not doing, when in their own private lives, they are dealing with some of the most sexually perverse, just wicked things you can't even imagine and wrap your mind around what some of these people are into. This is why I call them the Diddycrats. The freak nasty Diddycrats have struck again.
Yeah, of course.
And what he preaches and does not live. Because Go ahead.
No, true. So here's how I think this will impact Roland. I don't think that the nigga net is gonna see this and say, "Oh man, bro, we're done with Roland." Now Roland can't do his usual, which is whenever somebody is in a scandal, he comes on his channel, does a 5-hour live stream, and act holier than thou. That's over with.
And so this information has come out. And they're saying that, this explains a lot about Roland Martin's behavior and why he is, seems to appear a little bit more sassy than the average masculine man, is because he's struggling in that area as it regards to some sort of micro appendage. And I did some research about micro appendages. I won't use the other term. And it seems to be a medical condition that starts in childhood, and it can be hormonal. And usually when the male appendage does not grow to a standardized size, it's because of a lack of the appropriate hormones that would be needed to stimulate said growth, i.e. testosterone. I said, well, this explains a lot. That all that keyboard thugging that he does on the internet, it's an act. He's a coward. He's weak. And he's a poor excuse for a man that no one in the culture needs to be looking to because he got to hide behind a woman to protect him from some words. From a face-to-face confrontation with another man who he was out here talking reckless about. And you, sir, listen. I was real nice in this one. I was real nice. I mean, y'all think I went easy. I don't think I went too hard. I didn't go ham like I can. I went nice today. Being a Christian means that, yes, we love our enemies. But it does not mean that we bow down to our enemies. We speak the truth to our enemies. And sometimes the truth can be like, you are wicked. You're wicked. What you represent is wicked. Everybody you roll with is wicked. You need to be called out. Y'all know how I'm always talking about the Democrat Party and how the Diddycrats, there are no masculine men over there. And it is absolutely a reflection of the hormonal issues and the disgusting and perverted worldview and the policies that they push. No self-respecting heterosexual man can be a Democrat because it is not like you can pick and choose some of the policy positions and then do away with others. If you are a Democrat, okay, you have to, the sexual perversion is part of the package. It's a part of their party platform, and it's what makes them Democrats. So I guess the question is, am I shocked, right, that Roland Martin, had his booty tooted up with some females' fingers, more than one, up in the exit orifice of his body? No, I'm not surprised. I told y'all these Diddycrats are all the same. They all have some sort of weird fetishes and sexual perversions, and this is why the policies they support actually reflect that. Now, if you're upset, I don't understand. Like, if you are a Democrat, you should not be shocked. This is par for the course. This is who these people are. It's a party of, you got thugs, hoes, and rappers, liars, psychopaths, anti-Christian bigots, the sexually perverse, the sexually immoral, the bloodthirsty, like the baby sacrificing to Molech, like all of those things. That litany of wickedness that I just described is all a part of the Democratic Party. So now what? What is Roland gonna do? How will this impact his professional and political reputation? Will he be able to repair and redeem himself and show himself on camera now that it is known that he likes to assume the birthing position and have his look? Yeah, I'm not gonna insert the clip. Okay, if you want to hear it from the horse's mouth, y'all go over to Tasha K's channel and y'all watch it over there. I did the best that I could to diplomatically explain the compromising position that Roland Martin was recently found in on video. He is saying that this is it, he's being extorted. I'm of the opinion that this is what Roland likes. This is what Roland is into. And unfortunately, if this information is now leaking, the larger question that needs to be asked is, why is a man interested and participating in things like this? Like, according to the visual testimony, the verbal testimony of the visual observation that Tasha K has made, Roland seems very, very comfortable being on camera. It's as if he knew cameras are everywhere. This man knew he was being recorded, and he knew that that this person was capturing audio or audio visual of him, getting his colon dug out. And so, well, if that's the case, that tells me that this information is now coming out because either Roland has refused to do something, or they need to get him to submit, bow the knee, and do something. Like, think about all of these social justicians, the pro-wokity woke blackity blacks who are in bed with the Democrat Party. They will all do something strange for some change. And the Democrats always select someone that's already morally compromised because they have to use it as leverage to get you to do what they need you to do.
I think this has more to do with Roland's morals.
Yeah, of course.
And what he preaches and does not live.
And so I don't know who Roland Martin has pissed off, but here's what I can say. Roland can still repent and turn to Christ and turn away from this sexually perverse lifestyle and things that he's indulging in that are unnatural affections. Allegedly, him and his wife are working through this. I mean, she's been there for over 20-something years. So at this point, I mean, she probably already knew. But this is nasty. This is nasty. This is a situation that needs to be dealt with because we're going into the general election in a midterm election year, and Roland Martin is an integral part of shaping the Democrat Party's narrative and ensuring and securing the black vote. So I'd be interested to see how this is going to impact his credibility and his ability to deliver on what they normally expect him to do, which is you make sure you keep as many blacks on this plantation as possible. Now, here's what I will say. I am not celebrating his downfall or demise, but what I am celebrating is I hope this information coming out allows black Democrats to see that your quote unquote leaders and your standard bearers, that like something's wrong with all of them. They all have, morality issues, not old ones, but current ones. And it makes you wonder why is your standard bearers, why are your standard bearers hypocrites And why are they always involved in something so wicked, so nasty, and perverse that it doesn't make you step back and say, you know what, I can't support these people because something's wrong with all of them, and not necessarily support these people. But now you should be able to see that the character and the moral disposition of these people actually match their policies. It would be different if the policies that the Democrat Party was pushing actually helped and benefited Americans, but they don't. The policies that they're pushing, such as the sexual perversion and the trans stuff and the LGBTQ stuff and all the things, it's actually congruent with the lifestyles of the people that actually push these policies. So at this point, this is why I said, if you are Black and you still vote Democrat, I am left with no other opinion of you than if you're a man that you're gay, or incredibly emasculated and can't stand up for yourself and choose what is right. But I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? First of all, can y'all believe I actually even covered this? I can't believe that I actually covered this. When I listened to her describe what Roland, was doing in the video or in the still shots, I was like, I wasn't shocked, but I was like, you show is nasty. Okay, Roland, look, you should be ashamed of yourself. I hate that this happened to you. However, you reap what you sow. As long as it is still day, there is time for you to repent and turn to Christ. Put away all of this sexual, deviancy, and you and your wife go work it out. But yeah, you can't repent from this and stay a Democrat. You would have to repent and turn and go a different way. And maybe this is what the Lord is using. I don't know. To draw Roland to himself. Who knows? But I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts down in the comments box below. And until next time, you guys, stand firm, stay bold, and above all else, stay unshakable. Grace and peace.